Have you been trying for ages to get that lean, toned, fit-looking body, but you feel like no matter how much you exercise, no matter how many diets you do, you just literally can never get there? Well, baby girl, I'm gonna explain to you today exactly where you're going wrong, and it's actually because you're eating too little food, being too restrictive, and then in addition, working out too much. If you wanna get that really toned, sculpted hourglass body, you actually need to eat more food and work out less, but just do it better. Yes, it gets to be that good. Eat more, work out less, and have a fit, sexy body that you can maintain year-round for life. So in this video, I'm gonna explain exactly how this strategy works so you too can finally look and feel amazing for good. What's going on, Fit Fam? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan Janice, the founder of Nomadic Fitness, and I teach you ladies how to eat way more food without any restrictions and work out smarter instead of harder so you can build a toned, fit, sexy hourglass body that you feel amazing in and maintain it year-round for life with ease. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that like and subscribe. Come follow me over on Instagram for even more fitness content. And if you're coming on back, thanks so much for joining for another video. All right, fam, as always in my videos, I like to begin with explaining what exactly a fit, toned, sexy looking body actually is. And it is nothing more than a woman who has built quite a lot of muscle and is keeping her body fat levels relatively low. Yes, that is it. So I like to always start off explaining this because most women think it's just about losing body fat, that if they just get lean, if they just lose weight, if they just take the fat off, they will look so sexy with this really sculpted, defined body. But so much of the time, women get really frustrated because they don't actually see very much tone, shape, or definition when they do this. And that is because they are missing a huge part of the equation, which is the muscle gain. So that toned look where you see the shape and definition, everything is smooth, firm, and defined, that comes from adding quite a lot of muscle on your body. And the problem is if you are always thinking, oh, okay, I need to chase fat loss, that means you are always stuck in this restrictive eating, eating low calorie, eating low carb, dieting, etc., etc. And eating like that is absolutely not going to help you build any muscle. This is why I say you actually need to eat more, because you simply cannot grow something that is not there right now when you are hardly eating. So for example, most women tend to eat under 2,000 calories a day, and honestly a lot of the time I see women in the 1,400 to maybe 1,800 calorie range staying there for a very extended period of time, and then they wonder why they don't have all this tone definition, especially in their legs, because your legs are these really big muscles. So if you want them to look super sculpted and defined, you need to be giving your body a lot of food, and the average woman is going to need to eat well over 2,000 calories a day in order to see some great shape being built in her lower body. So I'm a perfect example of this because my transformation is exactly that. For literally years of my fitness journey, I was in the gym 5-6 days a week, lifting 5 days, doing a bunch of HIIT as well, and I was tracking my macros, eating 1 gram per pound of body weight and protein, but the problem was I was only ever eating around 1,600, 1,700 calories a day, and yes, this did get me lean, so yes, I had some abs, and yes, I was petite, but the big thing was that I always felt so frustrated that I didn't look more toned overall, especially that my legs were not more sculpted and defined, and that my glutes were not thicker, rounder, juicier, bubble butt, all that good stuff. And it wasn't until I finally said enough is enough, I decided to hire my own coach, that I got those results. And I actually got them eating so much more food and working out less. I ended up going down to just 4 days a week in the gym, not doing any HIIT whatsoever, and eating up to as much as 2,600 calories a day for big periods of time. And I finally got the sculpted, defined hourglass body that I always wanted. My glutes grew significantly, my legs got really toned, shapely, and firm, and I actually just saw more tone shape even in my abs and my upper body, even more than I had when I thought I already was lean with great abs by eating in a more restrictive way. And this is the kind of transformation I get for women all the time who are my clients, like my client Bethany here, who has built some amazing abs, amazing sculpted legs and glutes, and she was very much in that same position. She was working out out all the time, eating, maybe like 1,500 calories a day, and she just kind of had like that skinny, fat, fluffy shape. And finally, I got her training just 4 days a week, learning how to lift weights properly and eating plenty of food, going up to 2,200, 2,300 calories a day. And now you can see how much of a toned, banging body she has. And also like my client Kaylin here, who when she first came to me, she was only eating around 1,400 calories a day, going to the gym 6 days a week, and still just kind of looked mushy and flabby. And what we had to do was take her all the way up to 2,800 calories a day and just go to the gym 4 days a week, but learn how to do it smarter. And boom, you can see the insane glutes and legs as well as snatched waist she was able to build. So this is why you need to get in the mindset of thinking, okay, I need to also gain muscle, not just lose body fat. You need to do both of these things, but the biggest mistake everyone is making, including myself in the past, including these clients I've talked about, is only ever focusing on fat loss. So this is why you need to make sure you are eating plenty, and generally speaking, it's going to be well over 2,000 calories a day, and you need to do this for extended periods of time, several months, so that you can be in an actual muscle building phase and actually build some real shape underneath. So that way, when you are taking off the body fat, you have something to show underneath and you look like a whole new person. Now, of course, you don't just randomly eat whatever. You want to do this in a strategic way, and you want to do it by actually tracking macros. So your protein, fats, and carbs. If you're not sure how to do this or what is the right amount for you, I have so many videos that cover this. I'll put it here and I'll also link in the description because you definitely will need to do this. You want to know what your target macros should be for your body and your goals, and then you want to know how you can evaluate and adjust them over time so that you can keep either being in a phase of building lots of muscle, or when the time comes, move to a phase of fat loss. Because again, to build that really sexy toned body, you're gonna need to do both, build lots of muscle and take fat off your body. And if you don't want to have to figure any of this out on your own, if you're overwhelmed, if you feel like you've been spinning your wheels for years and you finally just want to be told exactly what to do, exactly what will work for your body to get a dramatic transformation, that is exactly why we have a one-to-one coaching program where we get these exact results for women, telling them exactly what to eat, when to change how much they eat. We take care of when to change the amounts of foods, teaching them how to get the best results in the gym so that they can finally get that sculpted, toned, fit body they've always wanted. So if you're interested, you can click on the link in the description to fill out an application to see if we'd be a good fit to work together. Now, the second reason that you actually need to eat more to get the toned, sculpted, sexy hourglass body that you want, especially if you're talking about growing your glutes, having a snatched waist, and having those really toned, sculpted legs, is because you build that muscle by the workouts that you do. So yes, you need to be eating enough to have the resources to build the muscle in the first place, but you also need to eat enough so that you can push yourself hard in the gym and have the energy to do it, because the workouts that you do in the gym to overload your muscles with resistance is what is going to build the muscle in the first place. So a lot of the time, women are very much under this delusion that they think it's just nutrition and that the workouts is a really small percentage to building this sculpted, toned hourglass body, but that is definitely not the case. If you want to look absolutely banging, you need to train hard. That doesn't mean working out all the time. In fact, you actually should work out less. You should only be training maybe 4 days a week. You can even do a little bit less, but you want to make it count when you go in the gym. And the thing is, if you are always eating very little, if you are always at like 1,500 calories a day, you are not going to be able to push yourself nearly as hard in your workouts as you would be if you were eating 2,500 calories a day. And of course, you're also not giving your body the resources to build muscle eating 1,000 calories less, right? And like I said, this was the big game changer for me myself. I had literally spent years going to the gym, training super hard, lifting heavy squats, deadlifts, all of that stuff. And really my lower body was so unimpressive. And then finally, when I switched to eating pretty much 1,000 calories more and also decreasing the amount of working out that I was doing, I saw my body change so fast and finally got that dream physique I had always wanted. So yes, you need to be eating a lot to build the muscle in the first place, to have the resources to create muscle mass with, and you also need to be eating more so you can train hard in the gym to have the energy in the first place to actually be stimulating your muscles so that they will grow. So if you're not sure what to be doing in the gym, I have tons of videos that walk you through the best workouts you can possibly do to build that sexy hourglass body. So again, you can click on that here, and I'll also link it in the description. Okay, the third reason you actually need to eat more food to build your dream body is because it is going to make your fat loss phase so much easier. So again, building your dream body is literally nothing more than dedicated time gaining muscle and also dedicated time losing body fat. You need to do both, but again, big mistake is just only thinking losing body fat and never putting time towards gaining muscle. It's really the time spent gaining muscle that is going to change your physique the most. And then what you do after you spent a significant period of time gaining muscle, because this is going to require being at a higher calorie intake, you're going to move to a phase of doing some fat loss. So this is going to be in a calorie deficit, doing what's called a cut, so that you're going to be able to trim down the fluff, trim down the body fat, and show all of the amazing sexy muscle underneath that you work so hard to build in your muscle building phase. And by the way, you can still stay really lean overall while you're building muscle, but you're just not going to be as lean as you would be if you were doing a cut. So this is why you need to alternate between the two of them. But this idea that you're just going to gain all of this body fat being in a build phase is not the case. You can still stay really lean, but at a point, you'll probably just want to get extra lean, and that is where the fat loss phase is going to come in. So the thing is, when you work your calories up to a really nice high intake, doing muscle building phases, you can imagine that you get your body adapted to burning so many more calories. Again, you're eating consistently well over 2,000 calories a day. So now when you want to go do a fat loss phase, do a calorie deficit, you don't actually have to drop your calories that low because your maintenance is so much higher. So think about it. Most women are trying to change their physique, eating something like 1,500 calories a day. Well, if you're just staying at 1,500 calories for extended periods of time, that means you've gotten your body adapted to a very low maintenance level. Versus if you got your body adapted to eating 2,500 calories a day, that means your maintenance level is so much higher. And that means if now you want to go do a cut to trim down some body fat, all you need to do is drop a couple hundred calories from 2,500, which gives you so much more room. And the thing is, to really lose a significant amount of body fat, let's say anywhere between 10 to 20 pounds or more if you have a lot to lose, you're going to need room to drop your calories. You're going to need to give yourself a decent runway in a calorie deficit because, of course, as you're going through your deficit, your body is adapting to the amount of food you're eating. So you need to keep pushing through and dropping food bit by bit by bit. And again, you just do this for an extended period of time before you go back to eating a lot of food to maintain your results. So this is why the overall strategy is getting your body conditioned to eating higher amounts of food, building lots of muscle with all of that food, and then just doing designated periods of time where you get a little bit more strict, a little bit more dialed in to do a fat loss phase, to trim down the fluff and really reveal a super sexy body underneath. Before you once again increase food back up and then maintain those really sexy results at a higher intake. So I'll use myself as an example here. I have just started a cut. I haven't cut in over a year. So I'm only a couple of weeks in, nothing too crazy yet. I'll probably be cutting with my coach for around 5 months, maybe as much as 6. And our plan is to lose about 15 pounds. So I started this cut at 140 pounds. I'm also 5'6", just for reference. And I already was pretty lean, but I'd spent over a year just focusing on muscle gain. And really, I'd gotten my maintenance calories up to pretty much 2,600 calories a day. That is a lot of food, because back in the day, my maintenance was like 1,600, 1,700, and I actually just looked more kind of skinny fat at that time versus as toned and shapely and hourglassy as I do now. So now that we're cutting, I'm eating about 2,000 calories a day, and I'm actually really easily dropping weight on the scale, easily hitting a new low every single week, and I'm still eating 2,000 calories. That is a lot of food. And we haven't even had to introduce any cardio yet. We're literally just dropping food to create the deficit without bringing in any more cardio, any more steps yet. We probably will be bringing that in again, because as you move through the cut, you have to keep exaggerating the deficit as your body gets adapted. So it's so easy for me to be cutting because 2,000 calories is a lot of food. And the thing is that this is technically a deficit because I had gotten my body adapted to 2,600. So dropping my intake to 2,000 2,000 is actually a fairly large deficit, which means it's easy for me to be dropping weight. So this is why you want to do this. This is why you want to get your body adapted to eating lots of food. And the other thing is, now I'm cutting down and I'm going to reveal all the sexy muscle underneath. So our plan is to lose around 15 pounds in this cut. And yes, I'm lean right now already, but we want to get really, really lean so that I'm going to be essentially just pure muscle underneath. So I will keep you updated. I'll definitely be showing all the transformations as we go through. And then the plan is going to be kind of hit this cut, get in and out, and once again, go back up to 2,600 calories or perhaps even more, and keep focusing on staying lean and building more muscle on top of that. All right, fam, so that is why you need to put your focus onto eating more food so that you can speed up your body's maintenance level, aka just speeding up your metabolism in general, and also build lots of that sexy muscle that is going to make you look toned and lean and fit the way that you want to. So again, if you feel overwhelmed by figuring out exactly the amounts to eat, exactly what to be doing in the gym, we offer this inside our one-to-one coaching. So you can click on the link in the description to check out the program. We would absolutely love to support you, stop you from spinning your wheels and just randomly guessing without getting very good results, and instead finally just get the streamlined guidance, accountability you need to get the results you always wanted. All right, Fit Fam, thank you so much for checking out this video. Now next, I want you to go watch this video here where I'm gonna explain how to navigate the different phases of building muscle versus fat loss, how you go from one to the other, and what to expect in each. So I will see you in that video.